Well, welcome back, Appointed. I'm so excited to have you back for another episode of the Focal Point podcast. Today, we have a little bit different of a podcast. I have some really important and special guests on the podcast today. But before we get into that, would you do me a favor? Would you like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, send this to all your friends and family. If you are parents of such young people that are here, please send it to all your family, friends and family, and help us get the news out about our podcast. So today is a special one. Again, you'll see that Brianna is not here today. Don't worry, she hasn't gone anywhere. She'll be back, I promise. But she took some time off, and today we are kickstarting our episodes about getting back ready for ministry, because we all have had summer off. We have all had time off between our regular routines, especially teenagers with school. And when you guys hear this episode, it'll be almost a couple weeks away from school starting. Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And now you heard the voices of my special guests, and you probably have seen them if you're watching. If you're listening on the podcast, like on Apple or Spotify, then you probably don't know who these people are. So let me introduce two wonderful and cool and awesome young people. The first is, I'll start with the coolest. It's Amaia, because I know. It happened. I said it. It's all right. I own it. The coolest teenager that we have here today is Amaia. Say hi, Amaia.
Hi.
And then we have AJ. Say hi, AJ.
Hi.
He's the
Where am I
second
looking?
coolest. You look that way. Just
Hi.
look that way.
Hi.
If anyone doesn't know, AJ is my son. And that's why I was giving him a hard time about not being the coolest. I mean, he's pretty
I am
cool.
the coolest.
You are the
I'm
coolest.
just.
He's the coolest.
I am the coolest.
He's just.
It's not nepotism. I'm the coolest.
You know, you got called a Nepo baby at camp.
Yeah.
Really?
Let's not talk about
I think it
that.
was Shayla, or it was Shayla, or no, it might have been Mariana, because they wanted to ride. And, it was you. Breaking news here! You've heard it first on the podcast. She's like, nepotism. I thought that was one of the girls.
It
No,
was
It was her.
It was me.
breaking news! I just heard it
She
first.
made eye contact with me too.
Yeah, I said nepotism. And I looked at him and everything when he was leaving.
And he's like, yeah, so what? I got the ride.
He said, I'll own it.
So a little backstory on that for those who are tuning into our inside communication here. We just got back from camp a week ago for our timeline, probably a few weeks since we recorded this. But the backstory to this is, in my older age that I am, and with the older adults that came with us, the camp where the site where the students were staying was not super far away from where we were staying, but far enough, like in 105-degree weather, this old man was huffing and puffing. And so I decided to rent a golf cart so I could drive back and forth easily, and then we could go get you guys waters. It was really for the students. Yes, it was really for the students. But we were giving rides, and AJ got a ride, and Amaya didn't, and I didn't know that was you. That said nepotism. I was like, oh, AJ's a Nepo baby. That's hilarious.
Yes.
So if you ever go to camp, adults, please rent a golf cart. It'll change your life. First thing. But then we got in a little trouble, so then I had to stop giving rides to the students.
Yeah,
I got yelled at
Yeah,
By who?
I heard.
by the camp director.
Oh,
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah,
Himself? Kyle?
yes, Kyle.
Yes.
I definitely got yelled at. So,
You see how that didn't happen with the girls? That only happened with the boys?
the boys got yelled. No, but I got yelled at too. So maybe it is a boy thing. I don't know. But
I'm telling you.
So the purpose of today's episode is we're going to relive some of our experiences at camp. We went to Word of Life Camp, the coast in Florida. We were there for a full week, 7 days, 6 days and 5 nights, or 6 days and 6 nights and 5 days.
6
something
nights
like
and 5 days.
6, 7.
7
And,
nights. 6
no, it
days.
could have been 7 nights because we were there Sunday through
Sunday,
Saturday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh yeah, 6.
Six
Yeah,
6 nights, 7 days.
7 days.
There we go. Which was a very long, and that they were very long days, 15 to 17 hours.
Yeah.
And again, it's not that the camp promoted that. It's just that our students were wild and crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
We'll be talking about that in a second because AJ wants to share his story about security. Yes.
Oh.
You heard it first here. Our kids had security called on them.
The boys did.
The boys
Only
did.
the boys.
I'm joking. It wasn't even that bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
We're making it sound worse than what it was. They're just being silly teenagers. But anyways, we were there for a week, and I thought it was important for us as we're getting back into youth ministry to talk about the value of like summer camps and like events that youth go to. As you guys have both come up through the ranks at Focal Point. AJ, I think you were like, what, 6 or 7 when you started in FPC Kids? Oh, I did it again. He's dying inside. You were somewhere between the age of 5 and 7, I think, right?
Yeah,
Somewhere around there.
Like probably like about to turn 6.
I think you were 2nd or 3rd grade, I think.
I was in 1st grade.
1st grade when you started. Oh, wow. Good memory. And what about you, Amaya?
I sadly did not ever get to go to Kids Point
Oh, no?
because I started coming here in 8th grade.
Oh, I feel like you're an OG. You handle
I just
yourself as
know
an
too
OG.
many people. That's why.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's too social, man.
Yeah, I'm too social.
She is. If you ever come to youth, Amaya is kind of the glue that holds our whole DNA together. She's like, why are you making this weird, bro? No, but she does know a lot of people. I just, the way that you carry yourself and the way that you interact with people, I thought maybe you were here longer. As you can tell, I'm not very good with timelines and people, so I
It's
apologize.
okay, Tony.
I know you love me now. It took summer camp for you to love me, but it's okay.
That's not true. What?
No, she's been with me in this position. I've been in this position just shy of a year and a month. And so Amaya's been super steady during this whole time. With all that being said, you guys, so AJ, you grew up through the ranks of kids and to youth, and you've grown up in youth with us. There are certain things that I find are foundational or are important to a young person's spiritual walk and growth. I know for a fact that summer camp is one of those moments where it just marks your life. Like you're never going to forget that time that you guys were at summer camp. But then there's also things that you can come to at youth, because we have like worship nights where everybody's invited, and we just like worship for like an hour and a half and share the word a little bit. There are lock-ins that we do. There are silent disco nights. There are holiday things. There's skating outings. There's going to be bowling nights.
Yes.
And you're going to hear it first too on the podcast. We're going to have miniature golfing outings.
Yay.
And I know, see?
Oh,
Yeah.
I love mini.
he didn't
Yeah.
even tell us.
Breaking
Wow.
news. Breaking
We're
news.
gonna
breaking news.
take over the. Is it reserved for us, or is it like public and we're just?
What, the mini golf?
The mini golf.
We'll probably, I don't know.
Is that
I
a
have to
place?
figure all the details out, but it will be happening. But my point behind all of this is I think sometimes we can get too busy in our schedules as young people. I know that with school and sports and activities and clubs and all these things, everything is vying for your attention. And if you're not intentional about setting aside time from God, God gets pushed to the side and other things take his rightful place in your life, right? And so I think it's important as we're coming back and gearing up and refreshing ourselves to doing ministry again, to kind of talk about why these things are important. This is kind of the heart of why I wanted to bring you guys on, because I know camp is still fresh in your brain and in your spirit. But I want the people who are listening to understand, like when we say to have your kids come and your students come, it's not just so they can have fun, although we have a blast. But there's a deep spiritual thing that happens. So why don't we talk about, let's just hone into summer camp. And why don't we can bounce whoever wants to go first. Maybe we'll have Amaia go first and then AJ. Oh,
We're gonna rock, paper, scissors.
We're doing paper, rock, scissors. Here we go. Ooh.
Oh.
You go
She won.
first.
All right, so AJ's got to
Okay.
go first. AJ, why don't you take us along first? Like how were things for you kind of towards the end of spring season, spiritually, your time with God and like kind of your focus on God, leading up until camp, and then let's start there.
So like around the month before camp?
Yeah, let's just say like the month before camp.
Okay. No, I wasn't necessarily reading my Bible consistently. I mean, I'd read it, here and there, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. I'd, go into the Word just a bit, read it a bit. I'd listen. I'd also, worship. I feel like towards the end of spring, I started worshiping just a little bit more. So I like maybe like a couple times per month, I'd start like, once a week, I think. Yeah, I just like, I don't know, I just do stuff and, In my free time, I'd worship or, worship and multitask. I know it's not. But, somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. But, it was my spiritual life was very inconsistent. I was getting stuff mostly on Sundays and Wednesdays. But, yeah, that was about it. It was just inconsistent.
And especially in May. May is kind of that month where everything's hitting, right?
Transition into summer. And
well, just like you had, I just know this, I'm sure you too, Maya. There was performances, there was graduations, there was tests. There was, yeah. Why don't you talk about it, Amaya?
I think, well, in AJ's case also, since he's going from 8th to high school, right? Yeah. That's also a significant transition. But in my case, I'm going from like being what is it called? An underclassman to an upperclassman this year.
10th to 11th?
Yeah, from 10th to 11th. So, like, it's like immediately everybody's like, oh, make sure you do this class. Make sure you try to do dual enrollment next year. Make sure all this.
Everyone has advice for you.
Everybody has advice for you. And then it's like, oh, like, make sure you get Scott and do all these things. And it's like, we love advice, but it does get overwhelming. Plus, there was also some family situations for me. So it really was like, we really did need this camp to be able to take that moment to like just rest in the Lord, I guess would be the.
And to be kids again, right? Like
yes.
I think there's such a push for students in high school, but even in middle school, to plan out their entire future. And like, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what classes to take. You need to know all these things. And it's like, you feel like if you miss one class or one thing you're supposed to do, then your future is like done, right? Done. And there's so much pressure we put on students. And I think, especially in May, I think I've heard it called Maycember, where it's like, it feels like December, which is like super busy with everything, but you don't get the presents. You just get all the
exactly.
All the stress, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
you get all the stress, but none of the presents.
Yeah.
And so we just talked about that. Like, I think that speaks to a lot of students and a lot of parents. They know what we're talking about. Like May, especially like, because it's like we go from Easter and then we go into go time and we're trying to get everything done before we graduate, right? So this camp was in the third week, I think, of June. Yes. Yeah, third week of June. Right. And so we're leading up to it, and you guys are having inconsistent times. When we first got there, and let's say the realization that you're going is hitting when that bus pulls up, yes?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right? And then it's like, oh no, this is really happening. Like, either good or bad, right? So why don't you walk us through that? I don't know, whoever wants to talk about that. Okay.
Yeah. When we got off the bus, I was like, oh yay, people are here to meet us. That's great. Like they come to the bus and we're all there. I'm like, all right, well, that's nothing out of the ordinary. I don't, at this point, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. We get off the bus, we hand in our phones, we get the stuff, our backpacks.
Parents, you heard it first. We took away their phones. Go ahead.
I know, how's that?
For a whole week.
And then, we start walking to the large building, the Performing Arts Center. So, we can go get checks, get our lice checks.
No, our heads checked for lice, AJ.
Yes.
Lice?
Is this not get your lice checks. Like you had lice. No, keep going. It's funny. Okay. Keep going.
And so we're walking, and I'm like, well, I'm just in for the ride. Let's see what goes. We walk, and then there's just this whole like this line of this little welcoming committee, and it's like at least it had to be like around 30 people.
Yeah.
Lining both sides of the sidewalk.
Oh, the sidewalk.
And the thing that really, I'm walking to the Performing Arts Center. The thing that really got me was when a guy got up on a light pole. He went, what was it? There's new arrivals, I see, or something like that.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, I forgot. Did I turn to you? I forgot who I turned. I turned to her, and I was like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this is not gonna be it. I was like, it felt like a little, like I was doing a little walk of shame walking through because I wasn't matching the energy, and I was like, let me just get past this. So, get past this, go through their head checks, and I'm like, whoa, let's go. I just sat down, I was like, all right, we're ready to go. Can't wait. Yeah. After that, yeah.
So what did you feel when you first went to camp? When you're like that bus pulls in and.
So when we pulled up to what is it called? The BPAC, right? The
BPAC.
performing
Every
arts
building had a name. It's like the
I don't
BPAC,
even know. It's called
yeah,
BPAC?
the BPAC.
It's called BPAC.
The
Yeah, and then
Performing
TAC,
Arts
and then,
Center.
yeah.
Yeah, they all had
The
names.
snack shack.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
If you don't know, that was every time they said the snack shack, we had to dance.
There was really random dance breaks in the middle of
everything, but
the
anyways.
rallies.
It was fun though. I would say like definitely the welcoming committee was it was funny, but at the same time it was kind of awkward because it's like we just got off a bus. It was a long drive, and then it's like hot out. Like it was just too much going on, and then they're like screaming in your face, and it's like I love the energy, guys, but
I don't know what we're doing yet.
I don't know what we're doing
my energy
yet.
is not matching your
yeah,
energy right now.
we're not matching energies. So yeah, he did turn to me, and I said that's real because it felt kind of.
So let me ask you. So you see the bus. We get there. It's not long. It was actually a really quick ride over.
Yeah,
it was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, and with friends, you're having fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We were having fun on the bus.
Yeah.
Although the bus driver's a little crazy.
Yeah.
I almost fell down a couple times because, side note, I don't know if you guys knew this, but he was watching the FIFA, the World Cup. He had his phone on the window.
That's what he was
We're
doing.
driving on I-4, and every time we stop, I think it was because somebody was close to like getting a goal. I should tell the company, but at this point, it's okay.
It'll be fine. We survived.
Yeah, exactly. We did survive. So we got through that whole ride back over there and over to the place, and we get off, and so like there's a sense of unsettledness, right? Like you guys are feeling like, what? I don't know what to expect. I don't know why I came. Like, should I have came or not? There's nervousness. And then we did all the checks, and then we went to you guys went to your cabins.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was not prepared for that walk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now you see why I needed a golf cart, right? it was a little bit of a walk.
Like I got
in
used
the
to
105-degree heat.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
AJ sweats a lot, so he was sweating.
Yes.
The boys were always like, how are you? It was like one of the boys, RJ, he was like, how are you already sweating? We just got outside.
It's because I'm outside. That's why I'm sweating.
It's because we're outside and we're walking.
So we get to our bunks or to our cabins, and I'm guessing, because I wasn't part of this, because I wasn't doing all the other behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, you were.
So my guess was you met your counselors, and
Do you want to go or want me to go? And
So
Let's have you go for
because I don't know how they did it, but for us,
I heard the girls went pretty smooth, but the boys. Go ahead.
it'll be fine. So for the girls, when we got to the cabin, our first counselor, Lizzie, like welcomed us. She like was at the door and she welcomed us, and then we got introduced to her. She like went around and everybody said their name, and then Sarah, our other counselor, came out of the bathroom, and then we also got introduced to her, and we were all chill. Let's see how the boys went.
How did the boys' cabin go?
Let's see. We walk up. We go. The two counselors come outside the door. I guess they wanted a taste of the humidity. So they come out.
The good thing is your cabins were air conditioned.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
that was amazing.
So good.
That
we
was
loved
great.
that.
We walk in. Oh, I think they had the door open for a while, and they just came out. And so we meet them, Evan and Grant. I don't know. I had a brain fart. Evan and Grant, they come out, and we go inside, and it's so hot. I'm like, dude, this is... I gotta say, first impressions of the cabins were like, you know what I mean? It was like, it wasn't great because we came in, apparently, the last people who were sleeping on my bed. Oh, so we go in, it's like chaos, right? We're like, yay, cabin, let's explore, right? So everyone starts choosing their beds. I choose a top bunk. I regret that. I choose a top bunk. I go on the top bunk, and I guess the last person who slept there. So again, like this is
the week before. Is it?
No, it's like it was literally the day before because
everyone left on
they
Saturday.
transitioned.
Yeah.
Somebody was snacking because I find a wrapper with something chocolatey, and then there's just crumbs everywhere on my bed. I had to wipe it down for like at least a full couple
now
minutes.
You know how it feels when someone eats in your bed.
Wow.
Anyways, we go into the bathrooms, and everyone's like, no, because the bathroom where the toilets were, the doors were like, they're like from I don't know, wherever this is, a little bit above my knee to
Like up above your head.
it's like right here to my neck. So like there was like you could just look over like, hey. It's like,
But at least it wasn't open.
no, yeah. And they had a curtain and directly on the one directly in front of the bunks, which was good.
They were pretty private.
I mean, they were, private for
If
own
somebody
bathrooms,
wanted to do like
their business.
yeah, they could feel. I went in and I looked. You
I
guys
just,
were pretty fine.
it was just especially, we had that reaction because we knew we're in a cabin full of boys who love trolling. And like we all knew somewhere deep down that someone, just to be funny might look over. And I was like, nah. So I always use the one with the curtain.
Wait, I have a question. Did you guys get like told that the other cabin was like with you guys, or did you guys like just meet them and then you're like, oh, they use the same bathroom as us?
So again, they don't use the same bathroom as us because it's a hallway divided.
Oh,
like a
So it's like a copy paste kind of.
we don't have that. We have to share it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, well,
We have to share a single bathroom.
it's the same. But what he's saying is that like a Jack and Jill hallway. Like you guys share the middle portion, like the sinks, yes? Isn't there like bathrooms over here and bathrooms over here?
So our cabin, like the bathrooms where there's two there's two showers here, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you walk in, there's two showers and then the sinks. And then 3 stalls and then a shower and then
that's
the
what he's saying.
big bathroom.
We had
But they didn't share is what he's saying. Like they were like
Oh no, we had
so it was like cut down the middle. It's like one cabin had 2, the other had 2, and then 2 showers, and then 2 sinks.
we just
So it's cut down the middle. And the way we met the other cabin, actually, it was at night when we came after.
when you guys got the
after
security
free time.
called on you.
No.
no.
That's the first.
Wait,
yeah,
listen,
that's how we
this
met.
is really funny. This
This is really funny. This is really funny.
Okay.
So the first time we began meeting the
Because you
other
guys got
cabin.
in there before them?
No.
Like
This
you
is
got into your
we started meeting them after we hadn't met the other people at all. We started meeting the people the night that we got there after free time. So I'm like chilling in my bed, right? I'm preparing my sleeping bag, whatever. And then the other counselor, Sam, he just walks in shirtless and does like 5 push-ups in the middle of our cabin, gets up and goes back to his other cabin.
That's how they met.
I actually have a picture of this.
You're like, what is going on? And who's this guy?
This guy he unannounced does push-ups and then walks out.
That's
and we're all
amazing.
looking at each other like, what
That's
just happened?
funny. What just happened here?
Yeah.
So I think what I wanted to kind of give the lay of the land is like every step of the way that you guys went, whether it was check-in to cabins to accommodations, you weren't in your element. And you weren't in the comfort of your home. You weren't in the comfort of how you did things. And so that first day was high stress. I saw it on you guys when you came back.
Yeah.
And you guys were like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this place? And I say that because I think it's important that we don't, especially as young people, but as adults as well, especially with our youth, is that we don't try to over control and over process things or over try to just overthink things. Like, I think it's important for us to be in uncomfortable situations because that's how God develops things in us. That's how God starts to work on some of the things on the inside of us. Because that first night, you guys had never been to camp before. You didn't know what you were going to get into. Not a camp like this. This is like a camp. And you're just like, what is going on? And some of the adults were trying to get our bearings too and things like this. I say all that because I think it's super important that teenagers get out of their comfort zone. And I think for too long, us parents, and I've been guilty of it sometimes, have tried to make life too comfortable for you guys. And I don't mean that as a judgment or a condemnation kind of thing for people. What I am trying to say is like, we have to get out of our comfort zones, and we have to get you guys out of your comfort zones because it disrupts the routine that you've put in your life or has been placed on you in your life. Like you were telling me before this that you were, it's all about tests and classes and this and that, and there's not a lot of space for God in that. And I think it's intentional of how they do it. I'm almost 100% sure it's intentional of like make you feel uncomfortable, not uncomfortable to where you're not getting your necessities met, but uncomfortable to the point of like, everything is shaken.
Normal.
This isn't normal.
This isn't how things work.
Yeah.
This isn't routine.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and it creates this idea subconsciously that things are different here. So then we go through, and so we don't need to go through every day and everything that we're going through. But basically, how the days were set up is you had a morning rally. So you wake up at 7, you have breakfast at 8, then you come to the BPAC. You would have your morning rally, which was like usually 2 songs to open. Like, and I learned a new praise word for all you adults out there. There's a new praise word if you didn't know. I'm going to tell it to you here. I learned a new praise word. Did you guys learn a new praise word?
No.
It's called hey.
What?
Every song.
Oh, that's true.
Like,
I was like,
hey.
But it's
But
just
every
like the
song
hype.
had.
It's just the hype. Like when we jump and we go, hey. I know he's
That's a new praise
it's
song.
like-
It's my new praise word. Hey, I didn't know that could be a praise word. So
Do like a 30-minute meeting with the worship team. All right, guys. I'm gonna teach you how to do hey.
hey, that's a very particular, and it was a very particular hand movement too.
Yes. I was trying to teach Tony the last day. It
Well, that
really
was because
funny.
it was like double time, and I couldn't jump and do the hey at the speed that I needed to. It looked so weird, and I was recording with my hand. So leave me alone, Amaya.
It's okay.
I did
it's okay.
very good.
You did very good.
Thank
You did very good.
I
You did
was
very good.
very happy with my performance.
Yes.
Of hey.
You did great.
Yeah,
You did great.
It's a new praise language I have now. So then you would have your morning BPAC rally. You would worship. Then there would be some kind of game, right? And then there'd be announcements in there telling you what you guys would be doing, what to look forward for the rest of the day. And then you'd have the word brought to you. And that was like 45 minutes, an hour, depending on the speaker. And then you went off after that. You would do a big, huge game between each colors. We were blue and the other team was red. There was like 550 kids or 530 kids, and they split it into 2 groups. We were just part of the blue, so it was like 200 and something of you guys. You go off and run and do your thing, right? Oh no, incorrect. You had a quiet time, right?
Oh yes, that's
what
right.
I was gonna say.
You had the quiet time, and then you had your water
30
game.
minutes,
Yes.
and then we had the water.
We had a water game. Then you had lunch, right? Then you had free time,
Yes.
and then you had dinner.
And then
Then a
Night
close at
rally.
night rally, and the night rally after the night rally is when you had your big
Well, on Monday.
games, right? You go out and do
On
games.
certain days, if
on
they
certain days there
But
was.
I'm saying like that's kind of like
Yeah,
the
that was
gist.
the- that was the
That's
gist.
kind of
if there wasn't a game after
It was
the
like a
night
pool
rally,
party.
it was like an
pool
hour
party or something like this. Yes.
hour of free time. Yeah.
So that's kind of like how your days were. What did you find in those times at the rallies? What did you find with the teaching? Like, so it's like you kind of have to be there, right? Like there's no like you can't go
They have a
cutting.
rule: no cutting.
No cutting.
No cutting.
no cutting
cutting.
rallies. So you're forced to be there. They're forcing you to be there. And the first night to the last night, what was your experience at these rallies?
Oh, it's
These
my
more
turn.
specifically
I
the
guess
morning
it's my
rallies,
turn.
but the evening rallies they did teaching as well.
I would say I really liked how for the first rally and the last rally, I think there was like one speaker, but there was a different speaker. For the rest of the week, we had the same speaker. And I really liked how he would use analogies. I love analogies, so I loved when he would use those. And I really liked how he would say, like, you have to use context. Because that's really important when you're reading the word. And he also helped, like, emphasize, like, you have to be in your word. I really like that. That was the whole emphasis, really. Like, yes, you have fun, but you have to be in the word.
Mm-hmm. Did you find yourself? What about you, AJ? How did you?
I really liked how all the rallies throughout the week, there was very much an emphasis on, all right, we have these kids who have to be here in the morning and at night this whole week. How can we take these times for a week to significantly equip
I got you.
these kids or these teens to, once they leave camp, to start living a more godly lifestyle,
Right.
socially and personally. I feel like the teachings, I really enjoyed that because I feel like I took a lot of things back from that.
Yeah, and a lot of the teaching, the overarching theme of the camp was freedom.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's like, but don't use that freedom to gratify your flesh,
Yes.
right? And so and I loved how they made it practical for you guys. It was like, how do we treat our friends? How do we interact with our friends? How do we give time during our day for the Lord? They even gave you some practical tools, like how to have, they called it quiet times. How do you have your quiet times? Like, what should that consist of? What should it look like?
And they even gave us an app we can use after.
Yes,
right?
you have the app if you wanted to use the app. So they not only did they just teach, they didn't just teach about it, but they gave you practical ways to walk out what you guys were learning.
They gave us tools, yeah.
And I think what the most important part about that was they showed you how to create space, and it showed me as a leader how to create space as well. Because I think one of the things, and I'm going to speak to adults here for a second and parents, I think one of the things that we do as parents and adults is we can justify, or we can, and again, this isn't about condemnation. It's just the reality of things. We can tend to allow, I love you guys, but we can, I'm talking to the teens in the room now. We can tend to allow the teens to make their own schedules and their own routines. And what I learned is, just because I'm forcing, or they're forcing us into a daily routine, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Was it uncomfortable? Yes, because we're changing our current patterns of doing things. Was it essential? I haven't talked to all the teens since I got back, all the students, but I can tell you that the ones that I have, they're like, they want to continue on. They were like, oh, that's life-giving. And if the summer camp was just about fun and just having a good time, I don't think it would have been as impactful as having, like, let's say 2 hours, literally it was about 2.5 hours a day of being in the Word, being taught the Word, being taught at least skill sets of how to be in the Word. And they did it in a way that was relatable to you guys. It wasn't like so highbrow and so like teach. They had skits, they had plays, they had different ways of illustrations and things like that connected you to what they were saying. But I think for us adults is like, what it encouraged me is like, I have to be the adult in the room sometimes. And I have to say, no, we're going to sit down, we're going to read the Word, and we're going to make this a priority. And then we're going to go have bunches of fun. And that's what they did. And so I think that was really encouraging, that how you guys responded to it. I think there's a fear sometimes, like if it's not always fun, they're not going to pay attention. That's not true. You guys are hungry and thirsty for the truth. Those kids were hungry and thirsty for reality of what it is to walk in the purposes of God. So we go through this whole week, and it's like you guys are going water tubing, and did you do pedal carts?
Yes.
Yeah.
We did it together.
Okay.
I was doing it every day. Like,
I know.
Yeah, we
twice a
did.
day.
And then he's like, oh, my legs hurt. Well, geez, I wonder
boy.
why.
My calves.
Your calves. And then my son just realized that this muscle that's on your thigh, the thigh muscle, is not your calf muscle.
Somebody told me it was my calf.
No, this is not your calf.
Somebody told me.
He's 14 years old, and as a parent, I guess I never specified what the calf muscle was.
It's okay.
He's like, my calf muscle. I'm like, your calf muscle.
Your calf muscle.
And that just happened now. So we're all learning things, practical things from camp. And so you have all these other things that you're doing. You're doing like the tubing. You're doing the paddle carts. You have pool days. You have pool parties. Silent disco, laser tag, zip lining. There's all these things, and there's water events. There's stuff for you guys to do to still have fun and be young people. But I think the overarching thing that we came back with was, it wasn't about that, even though there was a lot of time for that. The thing that you guys are going to really remember and make an impression on your walk with God was, you have to get uncomfortable, right? You have to be able to be open to be uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. You have to be open to like releasing control of things, because I think a lot of parents, and including myself, this is the first time I've been to camp, and a lot of the parents have let their kids go to camp. It's a scary thing to let your kids go with somebody else 2 hours away to camp that you know nothing about, and to trust that the leaders and God, trust that God has your kids, but also that the leaders are going to take care of your students, and that when you do make the space for God, and you do allow yourself to get uncomfortable, you allow yourself to be in the positions in these uncomfortable daily routines, when you shake it up, when you put time aside for God, when you make it about him, but also about relationships, because what I noticed too is you guys had this like relationship that was built with one another. You guys had a relationship before camp, but it got even stronger. There was other people that had somewhat of a relationship that got a little stronger. And there's some people that you guys didn't have, and now you've established the relationship.
Definitely.
What I learned about camp is that this is very important for students in their development and their spiritual development and formation. I think when we say formation, it just means how do you develop your belief in Christ and how to walk as a Christian or how to live as. So when everyone says Christian formation or that term, that's what I mean. For your formation, your Christian formation, without things like camp, it's not as rich, it's not as colorful. With camp, I know you guys are already thinking about next year.
Yes.
I'm just like, please don't be red, please don't be red.
Don't be red.
Exactly, please.
Well, who knows, next year, if you're red, we might win because we're awesome like that.
Okay,
but I'm just saying, we bring the power to red. I mean, I kind of want to do red because red looks good on me. I have good skin color for red. I'm just saying, y'all. I do. I look good in red. I look great in blue too.
You look great in blue.
Yeah, but red, so that being said, I think it's important why you're here, and I said this a couple times in the podcast, is students have to be okay being uncomfortable. And I know that there was a lot of students, there was a handful of students that came that even on that day, I know of two students that weren't going to come even that morning. And they prayed about it and they talked to their parents and then they came. There was three or four that, including those two, so another two, like during that week leading up, they were just not knowing if they were going to come because they're scared. And can you guys walk us through in this last portion of this podcast, in this closing moment, of how did you guys overcome that? Did you have any reservations or fear about going? Like, was there anything that you're like, man, I don't know? Or were you guys always jazzed and like 100% in for this?
You want me to go?
Sure.
Okay.
Chivalry's not dead, guys.
You learned that at camp.
Yeah, you learned that at camp. That was a camp thing. That was
what's her name? Who was
Sarah, my camp.
It was Sarah.
She was like, chivalry
Sarah,
is not
if you listen
dead.
to our podcast, thank you for being indemnable to our kids.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I would say like definitely like the week before, like there was a lot of like pushback from various different like people, and even I would say like spiritual. But as soon as like we got on that bus, there was like
stop real quick before we left. We had a big screw in our tire.
Yes,
I was like, the enemy is such a liar.
Yeah, the devil is a liar, guys.
We better leave this. I was like, if we miss a day, I was praying. Anyways, long story short, we got the screw out and it didn't puncture the tire. So
we were able to leave.
Yeah.
But as soon as we got in the bus and I started like talking to people and we were connecting, I was like, no, like I should be here. And I was like, I felt a sense of peace, and that's how I overcame it. Obviously, like at camp, there was like, it deepened even more because then we got even closer and closer and closer. Yeah. So I was like, yes, like.
Yeah. What about you, AJ? Did you have any reservations?
No, personally, no. I'm just the type of person who's in for the ride, right? I'm ready to go with the flow. And when I do have some reservations, or I don't like that word, reservations, I guess.
Any fears, any anxieties, any doubts?
Yeah, I take a leap of faith. I'm a guy who takes a leap of faith. Like, if you saw me on the zip line, like the first time I was going out, I was like,
Do you know they let the adults do it? Did you jump off, or did you like kind of like go to the edge and like the first time? Did you kind of go and just kind of like sit down and then like?
No, we kind of just, because we did it together.
We kind of just walked off.
We kind of just walked off.
We just kind of went.
We kind of did like.
Video of me like being.
We kind of did like Jesus stepping out into the water, like Peter stepping out into the water off the boat. That's what we did.
That is overcoming fear, y'all, because that was a high tower, and I got to the edge, and you could feel the tower swaying. I'm like, Lord, I know you're with me. This isn't how I'm going out. But still, there's this fear that the line is going to snap because I'm a big guy. And so I kind of get to the edge and I'm going to go, and I'm like, I start kneeling down and like I'm almost going to sit. And then I kind of just
saw the
off.
video.
That's pretty embarrassing.
You did it.
I did it though.
Knowing that you went before me actually comforted me. I'm like, all right, if my dad went, I'm a big guy, but he's a bigger guy. I feel like we can.
You can do it, right?
It's all good.
All right.
But even
You
on
go with the flow.
I just go in the flow. I take a leap of faith, and so I was like, yes, let's go. Even the bathroom situation, which I wasn't quite too fond of. I was like, I trust it's gonna be fine, and I'm gonna have some large pushback if somebody does something to me.
Yeah.
And
So it's interesting. Like your greatest fear wasn't necessarily going, but it was the bathroom situation.
that was really
I
the
think
biggest
for me
fear
that
for me.
would probably be one of the bigger things for me is the bathroom situation because you're just used to like your own space,
Right.
And now you're in a hallway of a whole bunch. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So let me ask you, what advice could you give or what encouragement could you give to parents or to students who, I think a lot of people have seen our videos by now. I've had a lot of parents like, man, I wish I would have sent my son or my daughter. I've had a lot of students like, man, I wish I would have went. That looked like a lot of fun. And so, but there are still, even then, there are parents that are, I know, terrified to let their student go. And there's students that are just like, man, I don't know if I want to go. What encouragement could you guys give them to get over that hurdle?
I feel like on the technical side of things, you can lead the spiritual side. On the technical side of things,
Tag, you're it. You see what he does? I live with
It's
him.
okay. This is how
This
we.
is the
this how we
dynamic.
do.
Okay.
she's the more spiritual person. I'm more the like, all right, she's a
Practical.
they're practical. Here's the face value stuff.
Okay.
Technically, practically, they have active working security, right? They don't I don't think they let people in and out of the like at night, right?
Yeah, it's gated.
Especially it's like it's very gated. They have
It's
a lot of
fenced off.
yeah, they have a lot of security. It's a very private property. You're always with your counselors at least 24/7. They have like a little circle. It's called the circle, and it's like they have the hangar, the snack shack. The hangar is like where you play basketball and volleyball. They have the pool. They have the zip line. They have the rock climbing.
Gaga ball. Did
Gaga
you
ball.
play Gaga ball?
No, because I actually do not know how to play.
Me neither. How do you play this?
Okay, so next time we go to camp, let's look up the rules and we're gonna play.
No, we could just ask JC. He knows how to play.
Yeah, but I'm saying next time we go, we're gonna do it. Anyways, keep
Yes.
going.
Anyways, you're like, if you're not with your counselor, you have how about this? If you're not with your counselor, you're in the circle that's very maintained with all the higher ups and all the counselors roaming around. You're not allowed to go if you're alone is in the circle, and you're not allowed to go anywhere outside the circle. They keep the girls protected. It's a large separation of gender. You'll get in trouble even if you step on the lawns of the girls' cabin, right? If
you can't touch the grass of the girls' cabin.
Touch your grass.
And we can't touch the grass.
You can't touch grass, man. It's like
you can't touch grass. Don't go touch. You can't even go touch grass.
Yeah, it's a large separation. Your counselor is always keeping an eye on you, but again, your counselors are also there's not not for parents. Don't have a fear of your counselors being like, you're sending all your kids, and then now there's a couple of old men in the room. No, the counselors at least, like, I asked my counselor this, there's no age limit to be a counselor, but they usually like them between the age of 19 to 23. So like both of my counselors were 19, so they're very young people. Even like during free time, you'll see them like out there playing basketball or swimming or something.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like these people, the counselors specifically, they have a large, and I could tell that at least my counselors, they had a large responsibility to keep us safe and to sow into us, right?
And so not just practically, but spiritually.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And they led to the quiet times, yes?
No, yeah.
Yes, they would.
So spiritually, what would you say to those who are, or if you want to add some practicals, you can. But.
Well, I'm gonna add one practical, and then I'm
okay.
Also, like, there's like the health center, so
Yes.
and everybody's like watching out for you. Like as soon as they see like you don't feel like for example, the last day when we did the run, there was nurses everywhere just in case somebody was hurt or heat exhaustion or anything, and they were there, and the counselors would make sure that people were safe and
It's a
healthy,
very
right?
safe, a lot of procedures and a lot of safety measurements for the students.
Yeah.
So that was great.
Definitely. But spiritually, I would say, like, first, obviously it's normal to have fear, but that's not from the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're told many times in the
Fear
word,
not.
fear not,
Do not be anxious.
take heart, do not be anxious. It literally says, do not be afraid, like so many times.
It's like one of the
in the
most
word.
used phrases
Yes.
in the entire Bible, because the Lord knows we get afraid about everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would definitely say, I don't think, I'm going to say this, don't let your fear hinder your child's faith.
That's good.
That's great.
And don't let your child's fear hinder their growth as well.
Exactly.
Right?
As well.
Because it can go both.
It can go both ways.
It can go both ways.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Would you say, as we close, would you say that you have a deeper spiritual hunger for God now? Or is it the same as that month before you went?
The hunger, you know, the hunger is definitely more there, more present. But I also feel like I now have a larger because the hardest part for me that month before was, how do I commit to these things? How do I do all of these things? Like, even like I had questions about, or just struggles with, how do I have my quiet time with God, and how do I interact with people in a godly manner? But now I have a better understanding. I feel like, you know, like setting apart time for God, how to use that time, and then, you know, also again, like going out, making disciples, and, you know, being spiritual and spreading the gospel with your friends too. I have a much better understanding about that.
Amen.
Definitely.
What about you, Amaia?
I would say first, like, yes, it has deepened, but I think also I learned to, your relationship with people is so important too, which, like, there's something like, you have the head knowledge. Like, I had the head knowledge of it, but being in camp and creating all those relationships, I realized, like, actually, like, I understood it, which is, like he was saying, I understood, like, the value of that.
Yeah.
And as I understood the value of, like, interacting with people, then I was able to see, like, I really need to go deeper with God if I'm actually going to love people correctly.
That's right. That's so good. Thank you guys for that. And I will close with this for the rest of us. I see all the time in youth that students come and go, and there are students that have been with us for a while, and then you don't see them. And then you see some that are consistently at youth. You see the ones that come to special events or camps or whatever, these extra things that we have. And I will say that I see a significant difference in those who, and it's not 100%, because I understand God works in all ways, but there is a noticeable difference in the depth of spiritual depth of students who come to camps or go to worship nights or go to, like you're even saying, like, I think we can underappreciate spiritually how important it is to be around other believers, especially for students.
Like fellowship, yeah.
And fellowship. Like, and it doesn't always have to be super spiritual in the fellowship. The fellowship itself takes on a spiritual formation inside of us. And so those who are isolated, those who don't, those who feel, you know, like I said, just isolated or like apart from people or lonely, tend to be the ones who aren't taking the step to overcome their fears and their anxieties to connect and to take a step of faith. And so I say this for our parents. One of the biggest lessons, and I said this earlier in the podcast, and I want to drive it home as much as possible. I think we can fall into the trap of allowing our students to plan out their lives and allowing them to plan out their weeks and their activities and what they do in an attempt to make sure that they're happy. It's like their personal happiness is more important than anything for some reason. I don't know where this came from. Because I want to see, like, AJ, you're my son. I want you to see you happy. I want you to have a good time. And also I want you to seek God because you want to seek God, not because he's my God. But there's a very fine line there. And I think what camp taught me was it's not an either or, right? It's a both and, meaning you can still have joy and have fun and have those times, but you also can mandate that in like mandate time with the Lord for your students. Like, there was no way you guys were not going to sit there for 45 minutes or 50 minutes or an hour. The camp wouldn't let you, and we weren't going to let you. whether you were connecting or not with it, you were hearing the word and it was coming over you. And eventually, after about like day 2 or 3, it was like, oh, you could feel like there was a shift in it.
Definitely.
I think that's what I want to leave parents with. Would you pray and would you ask God and the Holy Spirit? Now, I'm not saying that our youth ministry is perfect, and I'm not saying that we don't have opportunity to grow. I'm not saying that our youth group is for everybody, but we are open to anybody. What I am trying to say is, would you pray and ask God, has the lie become in my life that activities and sports and clubs become more important in my child's life than God? And I'm not saying those things are, I'm just saying, have they? And so I would challenge you, like, you can still, if you're discipling your students and they have an active prayer life and spiritual life, and you guys are reading the Bible together and you're doing all that, well, amen, that's good. And they have the other things that are going on, that is amazing. I would say that that's rarer and that's less the case in most students' life, where when I talk to most students, they're really stressed. And they're really like, it's almost as if they're being pushed into these clubs, either by themselves or by their parents. And that these clubs are requiring clubs. I'm talking about band. I'm talking about flag corps. I'm talking about sports. I'm talking about any of the extracurricular stuff, dual enrollment, extra classes, things like this. Because we want to set our kids up for success. So that's a whole nother podcast, because then we're trying to take control of life from God, right? God is the one that does it. But in doing so, my question is this, and this is what I came back convicted with, and this has really been on my heart. In doing so, and if you're getting defensive on this, I'm sorry. We can have a conversation, because there's a conversation to have in here somewhere. In doing so, we have inadvertently made these clubs more important, in sports more important than God. Students have, and so have parents. And inadvertently, when that happens, we read in the Bible, when anything takes the place of God and we give it more attention, what does it become?
An idol.
An idol.
Yes.
And inadvertently, we're worshiping, and we're betting our kids' future on the altar of idolatry of sports and clubs and extra activities and schools and education. And then we wonder why, when they get out into the real world, studies talk. I keep saying I'm going to end this podcast. I promise you I'm going to land this, guys.
10 minutes.
I promise this.
It's okay. It's okay.
Years later. And then like SpongeBob comes on. Studies show, because I've shared this before, so this isn't new. You guys probably haven't. You probably heard this, but this might be new for somebody. 70%, 70, of students who graduate out of youth ministries or graduate out of church, not even youth ministries, 70%, 7 out of 10 kids who graduate out of, when they graduate and go into the world, when they're, after high school, they will leave the church, like leave it. They won't come back. They'll just leave. Peace out, deuce. We don't see them until decades later in life. Of the 70%, only 50% of those, so 3.5 of them, will come back to the faith. So 70% will leave their faith. And it's not even just the church, it's leaving their faith. 70% will leave the faith. Only 50% of that 70, so let's say 4 people, will come back later in life. And we wonder why. We wonder why they're leaving the faith. We wonder why they're not following after God. Because inadvertently, I think one of the major problems that has happened to us as a society and as parents, we have made other things more important than God. We have made other things more important than going to church. When I was a kid, y'all, I didn't have a say. We had to be there at Sunday. I had to be there on Wednesday. If there was a church potluck, I had to be there. If there was something going on, I had to be there. I didn't have a choice. I was a kid. And I think this is my viewpoint. I think we've allowed too many choices when it comes to what our students are doing, and in that it's diluted their faith. And again, that's not for everybody. I would say that's just what studies show us. And I will share this last statistic. AJ has something he wants to say. Hold on a second. I'm going to share one more statistic, and then you can go.
One more.
Studies also show us that kids who go to summer camp, go to like a Christian summer camp are 80% more likely to stay in the faith after graduation. 80%. So 8 out of 10 of those who go to camp will stay in the faith afterwards. And I would say it's why. Because for a week, you were uncomfortable. You were forced to do something that you don't normally do or didn't want to do. But you also had fun while you did it, and you developed community. And I think this is the key for youth ministry, and this is a key for growing. So what did you want to end with, AJ?
I wanted to, I told this to my friend. My friend, she's very like, I'm taking these classes during the summer. I'm doing this. I'm going to do this club. I want to set myself up to be this nurse, this doctor, whatever. And then, she has her whole life planned, what she's going to do. I told her, she's not a Christian, but I will share what I told her. Now add something else for us believers of Christ. I told her, it's good to set yourself up for success in your studies and education. That's great. But don't make that the main priority for the rest of your childhood and young adult life. So I say this to parents and I say this to teenagers. Don't rob yourself or your children of a childhood and B, a walk with Christ or a close connection with Christ just because you want to set yourself up or your child up for success via education.
Well, there's a mic drop right there for y'all. There you go. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. That's really good. Thanks for closing it that way, AJ. Well, guys, we're closing the episode. I promise right now. We love you all. Do what you're supposed to do. Like I opened the podcast. Make sure you share. Make sure you like it. Make sure you turn on your notifications. Please make sure you comment in there. I haven't responded to the comments in about a week because I've been with these guys for a whole week for like 15, 17 hours a day, having a blast.
Yes.
As I had a blast, y'all.
Yes.
So I'll get back to your comments. We love you all. And until next time, peace.